क्या चाहिए सौरभ? Saurabh, what basically you're looking for? Can you type your this one? Thank you, Shirley. सौरभ, आपका क्या प्रॉब्लम है? आप मैसेज कीजिए प्लीज. हम क्या करें फिर? क्या करना है? गुड इवनिंग जीविका. गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन. हिरेन, गुड इवनिंग. Yes, guys. So we are back. We are back with practical approach to our GRE passages. Okay, today we are going to work on the question. Please be more active. In fact, you people are active throughout the class, but today we need to be a little more extensively active. Why? Because we are going to answer the questions. And now here, kindly follow, kindly see what we are doing when we are solving each type of question, because here we'll be narrating the technique, also we'll be showing it practically how to do. So kindly be more attentive in the class. Don't get distracted from anything around you. Okay, so I'm going to present the screen for you guys. Yes, here we go. Okay, so here, yes, great. Now I'm getting back here. So yes, what did we yesterday learn? We learned different types of questions, what kind of options we'll be getting, how to eliminate these options, and then we even learned to summarize the passages, isn't it? So what is that we are going to do here? Summarization. So we are basically we basically read the first idea and last idea. I'm not using first sentence and last sentence. I'm sorry, first line and last line, because first line and last line may not cover the complete idea, isn't it? So first idea and last idea. Hence, so yesterday we did a kind of skimming process. We learned what happened in the passage one. So basically, what was this passage, guys? Once, if you want, you people glance it here. So the passage was all about pterosaurs. What is the argument paleontologists have, or why paleontologists are puzzled here? Guys, if you remember this thing, so paleontologists basically were puzzled to know whether pterosaurs were reptiles or birds. Okay. What was the most? Yes, very good, Swarangini. So now, what is that? Basically, they had the argument. How did it go? Rather, here in the second paragraph, immediately they said that. So the most least controversial assertion was pterosaurs were reptiles. Okay, so, and they justified it. And in the third paragraph, what they said, so they said that these pterosaurs resembled birds, but ultimately in the last sentence, what they said, there was some kind of dissimilarity between birds and pterosaurs. Why? Because the bones are reinforced into internal studs. Okay, and then, so what is that we have in the next paragraph? So basically, they said the similarities of reptiles and pterosaurs, because they usually pterosaurs and reptiles will have the coverings. Okay, and here for pterosaurs, airy cover was there. Whereas for reptiles, we'll have the scaly covers. Okay, so that is the thing we have got. And ultimately, what they describe some methods how they could have launched to fly, but all these methods were proved to be this one, what is that, not appropriate, isn't it? So this is what the entire passage was talking about. So ultimately, what they were trying to check out whether these pterosaurs are reptiles or birds. Okay, so now this is the complete theory we have. I mean, we just saw the summary. For every passage, we want you to take the summary. Now let us go to the type of questions here. Now, the first question type is what? So inference question. Guys, inference question is the most difficult question. Okay. So why it is most difficult question? Here they try to indirectly give you the reference of the idea and you need to find the idea. That means आप लोगों को, yesterday few people asked me to narrate in Hindi also. So I am narrating in Hindi also. So आप लोगों को ये ना आइडिया डायरेक्टली नहीं देते हैं, आपको लिंक देते हैं, आपको उस आइडिया को पहचानना है. दैट मीन्स व्हाट, यू पीपल नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई द अनस्टेटेड आइडिया इन द पैराग्राफ. ओके, सो implies in the sense what, it is indicating. Implies means what, it is indicating. Indicating in the sense what, the idea is not directly present, isn't it? So therefore, if you want to identify what could be the idea, first you need to know on what situation they are talking, and whatever the situation they are trying to speak about, you need to see like, so what is the given idea, accordingly you need to pick the idea. For example, so yesterday I like, what is that, we have vaccination. Every person, so in India, so compulsorily need to had to get this COVID vaccine, isn't it? This was a compulsion that we had a year ago. What was it? Everyone to be, what is that, given with so the 2 vaccines and the boosters as well. What does that imply? Why is that government made that rule that we need to get compulsorily vaccination? Is it saying that everyone need to get injection? What is the implication that you people get? So that everyone will have the immune to COVID. Okay, COVID viral infections. That means what? So everyone should be so well prepared. Their body should get so well prepared that the COVID virus should not affect them. Okay, so the COVID virus should not affect is the implication that is given from what is that, this like everyone should get the vaccine here. Okay, so that is one of the thing that we basically have here. So inference means what? Something which is not stated. Here they are asking, it can be inferred from the passage that scientists now generally agree that. What is that scientists generally agree? So that is what basically we need to take up here. So now what is that scientists generally agree? From the passage, so you got to know there is a least controversial. So on what? So on the idea that pterosaurs were, what is that? Reptiles. That means we don't have much this one. Yes, reptiles. So therefore, what we need to see, let us see here, or let us try to see, is there anything that they have given. First we have, see, because this inference is based on the entire paragraph. So let us try to see each of the option here. If we get something like this, it is based on the complete paragraph. So, and we need to just find it out. Just give me 1 second, students. Ma, I'm so it can be inferred from the passage. So that means what? There are many ideas that is given in the passage, but here we need to find out, so which idea is indirectly said. Here they are trying to say enormous wingspan of the pterosaurs enabled them to fly great distances. Here it is trying to say what? Enormous wingspan. That means a very big wingspan, a stretch, enormous wingspan of the pterosaurs enabled them to fly great distances. Let us see where they were talking about the this one, flying and everything. So in the last paragraph. So just try to see here whether they are talking like The enormous wingspan, that means the big wings help them to fly long distances. Is it saying anywhere in the last paragraph? You people only see me and see here and tell me this, whether it is trying to say anywhere indirectly. Is it trying to give? Guys, tell me, look at the last paragraph and see, because about the wingspan, we had it in this one. Yeah. I'll take you people to this also. See there, anywhere we have this particular thing, the big wing made them to fly long distances. Nowhere we have, isn't it? So therefore, this is not the said idea, isn't it? So we can take it out. That means without any evidence, so you are not supposed to take out any option. You know that it is not given there. So therefore, A cannot be our this one. Structure of the skeleton of the pterosaurus suggests a close evolutionary relationship to bats. So they are talking about the structure of the skeletons of the pterosaurus. It implies or it indicates that they are very close to the bat citizens. Okay, they are very close. They have a relationship with the virgin too. So bats. Okay, where they were talking about birds and bats, which paragraph, guys? We are not supposed to see the entire passage, isn't it? It is in the third passage, third paragraph, isn't it? Let us try to see whether there is a close relationship to the bats or not. Third paragraph where we have, yeah. Here you can see here, the pterosaurus resembled both this and this in their overall structure and proportions. Okay. It resembled birds and bats in their overall structure. This is not surprising because this, both the pterosaurus and birds have this one. In birds, this one. So it is saying both birds and bats. It resembled. But here what is that? They are saying try to see the structure and proportions. It is trying to say structure and proportions. But look at here. Structure of the skeleton of the pterosaurus suggested a close evolutionary, whether it is trying to say how this pterosaurus evolved, even the bats also evolved in the same way, or is there any relationship between the bats and pterosaurus evolution? Only resemblance in structure they are saying. They are not saying in the evolutionary part. One may get confused. Why? Structure is here. So bats and pterosaurus here. So those who go by keywords, they will be under trap here. But what is the basic idea they are saying? The skeleton will, the structure of the skeleton, so has the same evolutionary relationship as that of bats and pterosaurus, which is not at all given. See, why I am trying to give every option in detail means because you people need to know. You can't just randomly tick the answer. You cannot randomly omit the answer there. Okay, so you should be very precise in taking up the things there. Next, see, because I'm explaining, it is taking long time. But when we do it practically, all ourselves, so it is all like just a second work it is. Okay. Next, even B also go out of our box, isn't it? So B also will be going out of our box because why? Because it's not given in the, it is not particularly given in our this one passage. Now, fossil remains of the pterosaurus reveal how they solve the problem of powered flight. Right. Here we know that they are still puzzled, isn't it? Scientists are still puzzled about how the powered flight was solved there. So that means the entire passage was constructed that, so they are still confused with the powered flight. How did they solve the problem of flight, isn't it? So therefore, do you think C can be our option? No, right? Because it is just opposite. Still the problem is not solved there, isn't it, guys? Do you think you have to get back to the passage again? Already this is the summary we have. Still they are not able to understand how did this pterosaurus fly. From where we will get? From the last part we are going to get. If you want, I'm taking here to this part. You see the last part, you will see that the three this one, methods of flying, phenomena of flying, whatever they said was proved wrong or was proved useless, so which could justify pterosaurus flying there. So therefore what it is, you can see here. So this is the last part that we have, so which is basically talking. So nowhere it is there now. And also if you see, still it is a problem. How did these solve the problems of powered flight and exactly what these creatures were? So it's still a question of puzzle. So it has puzzled them. That means the problem is not solved. Now this also people may get confused. Why? If you go by keywords, problem of the powered flight, it is there. So, and fossil remains of pterosaurus, that is what we were taking and we were discussing. So we feel that, oh, the problem has been solved. No, the problem is still a problem. It is still a puzzle there. So therefore, C also will not be our part. Okay, got it, guys? Now, so what is that we have here? The next thing that we have, pterosaurs were reptiles. Whether this is given, where is it? Perhaps the least controversial assertion about the pterosaurs is that they were reptiles. Least controversial assertion. That means it is mostly accepted statement. Assertion in the sense, what statement? Least controversial means that is not basically debated on. That means mostly it is accepted. That means mostly it is accepted that pterosaurs were reptiles. Can we take this? Can we have the idea here? Yeah. So we can keep this as our answer. Now, pterosaurus walked on all fours. Four. So that means it walked on all four legs. Do we have that thing? Pterosaurus walked on all the four legs? Just see here. You can see it has given this one, the other fingers where they remained on all the fours. The three short fingers may have been employed. So walked on. If it is okay, what it is, if the pterosaurus walked on all fours, the three shorts, that means it is not the reality. They are just considering if at all, if it walked. Now people may get confused here. They may say that, oh, pterosaurus walked on all fours. That is already given. So what we'll think, oh, it is presented, we'll be picking up. Remember, for inference question, if anything is given exclusively as it is in the passage, you're not supposed to pick it. And first of all, whatever they have given there, so it is direct answer, but here it is a considered answer. So therefore, two different things it is. Here they are thinking, but there they are saying that. So pterosaurus walked on. It's a declaration here. So therefore, here it is not declared anywhere. Therefore, E is also not our answer. So what is the answer that we have here? So D. That means what? What did you learn from this question, guys? So it's an inference question. Inference question, see, inference question will have two types. One inference type will be focusing on the entire paragraph, just like what we did here. The other inference will be based on specific detail. Okay. So when we have on the overall idea, what you need to do, you need to check each of the option here after reading the question. So take each of the option and see that whether this idea is discussed in the paragraph. If it is discussed, whether it is discussed in the same very manner or whether it is discussed in opposite manner. So you need to find out. Only the idea that is discussed according to the question that is given in the paragraph, then that could be our option. ठीक है? So समझ में आ गया है ना? देखो, ये inference question में क्या होता है? दो तरीके का inference questions होता है. एक जो होता है वो पूरा paragraph based है. जो अभी हम लोग कर रहे हैं ये पूरा पैराग्राफ बेस्ड सो इन्फरेंस क्वेश्चन है. तभी हम लोग क्या करना है, इधर क्वेश्चन रीड करने के इमीडिएटली हम लोग ईच ऑप्शन को देखना है. अगर ए वाला ऑप्शन, इस वाले ऑप्शन का डिस्कशन पैराग्राफ में हुआ है, इसी तरह से हुआ है, फिर हम लोग उसको आंसर चूज कर सकते हैं. अगर वो ऑपोजिट वे में हुआ है या उस आइडिया को अलग तरीके से बता रहा है, सो तो हम लोग क्या करना है, उसको छोड़ देना है. दे आर नॉट आवर ऑप्शंस. गेस, I guess you people got about inference question, guys. If you have understood inference question, just give me thumbs up. Yes. Good, good. We'll discuss more. We have more passages. We'll be discussing more all types of questions here. Okay. Now, let us try to go for the next question. Okay. So, and also, guys, here one more thing. You need to always give extra importance for understanding the question. If you don't understand the question properly, you will not approach the answers. Okay, you will not get exactly the right answers here. That's the reason what we say, we tell you guys, kindly look for your questions properly. And when you're looking for the questions, don't go by keywords, go by key idea. Understand what exactly the this one is asking for, what exactly the question is asking for. The author's views the idea that pterosaurs became airborne by rising into light winds created by waves as. So now don't look at the options. Why? Because this is what a specific detailed inference question. Views. I said yesterday, I showed you different types of inference questions. Now look at the way the question is asking. The author is thinking, the author is indicating, the author is seeing the idea that pterosaurs become airborne. Become airborne in the sense they started flying in the air by rising into light winds. This concept, how is he trying to see? That means raising in, so they becoming airborne. Airborne means flying in the air by rising in the light winds. Whenever the light winds came, they tried to fly, and when they tried to fly, they started off with the flight. So this is what they are trying to say. And this idea, so author is thinking in what way? Here it is in fact specific detailed tone inference question, we can say, because his view, what is his attitude towards this concept. Now where they were talking about this rising themselves into the this one winds and all, so where it was spoken about, tell me. It was spoken about the wings, the flight was spoken in which paragraph? It was spoken in the last paragraph, isn't it? That is why we had done the summary. So in the last paragraph only they had given 3 hypotheses with regards to flight. So you can see, you start looking at second line of the last paragraph. So efforts to explain how pterosaurs became airborne have led to suggestions that they launched themselves by jumping from the cliffs, by dropping from trees, or even by rising into light winds from the crests of waves. Now, they have given three methods how they would have launched by themselves. Okay, so which is this one? This is the third idea, rising themselves into the this one. Okay, this is the third theory. Each hypothesis has its difficulty. That means each of this hypothesis has its own difficulties. That means it is not successful here. So the last theory, let us see. Why? Because rising in the winds is the third hypothesis. The third calls for high waves to channel updrift. The wind that made such waves, however, might have been too strong for pterosaurs to control their flight once airborne. Now, what is that? Whatever the third idea they had given, with the light winds, they will rise up. So that can be proved false here. Why? Because whenever the huge waves comes in, the winds also will become too strong. If the wind become too strong, the pterosaurs could not so get into the this one. What is that? Get into flight there. So that means what? This idea is not basically accepted. This idea is proved to be wrong, isn't it? So what is that? This idea of rising in the light wind is what? It is not acceptable. The author is not very strongly taking this consideration. So now tell me, what is the answer? I gave you the shadow answer. With that answer, tell me, so what should be the answer here? Second one. What is the author's view here? Sakshi has given B. What about others? Ankita, B. Very good. So very good, guys. It's all B. Unlikely. They're not believing. They're not taking into consideration this thing. So now, guys, did you get what we did here? Basically, here we wanted to go to that specific idea. We went to that specific idea, and then what did we do? We went back to the passage. Since we knew in which paragraph what idea was given, so what we did, we basically went there, read that part in detail. We got the shadow answer. With that shadow answer, we picked the right answer. See, because you people knew the shadow answer, you immediately took unlikely, which is very, very, very good here. Okay, this is what we need to do, guys. What we need to do here. And this is how we need to present or evaluate. No blind reading, no blind marking. And also one more thing. So I guess you all remember this thing. Whenever we are confused with any options for 1 mark questions, what we do? We do inky, pinky, ponky. We play and we choose some option. Don't do that. If you read the question, I'm dead sure that you people will be able to answer it. Okay, so therefore it's your mindset also, and it's your practice also. The next question that we have, again, see what we did there. We did not see the options in the beginning. We understood the question. We went back to the passage. We looked out for our idea. We got the shadow answer, and that shadow answer we are coming and comparing here. Okay. According to the passage, the skeleton of a pterosaurus can be distinguished from that of a bird by. They're asking what is the difference between the skeleton of the pterosaurus and the bird. Where we had this. Now we know in which paragraph we have this. That is the help of summary. In which paragraph we have? Tell me. In the third paragraph, isn't it? Guys, you need to be proactive. Let's go here. Yeah, in the third paragraph. What is the difference between the birds and the bird skeletons and the this one? What is that? Pterosaurus skeleton. Oh, first tell me shadow answer, guys. Then you pick the answer. Yeah, both the pterosaurus and birds have a hollow bones. Okay. The similar thing is they have, this is the similarity. Both pterosaurus and the birds have hollow bones, a feature that represents the saving in weight. But they're asking for difference, or what is that not matching? In the birds, however, these bones are reinforced into more massively by internal studs. That means what? However is there. However means what? It is a twist here. Okay. Twist in the sense, even though we had similarity, we have the dissimilarity. What is the dissimilarity that we have? So the bird's bones are mostly reinforced into internal studs. So, but it is not the feature of our pterosaurus. We got the difference here. Let us get back here and see what should be the answer. Be careful. They are asking for the differences. They are not asking for similarity. See, distinguish means what, guys? Distinguish means you need to differentiate. You're not supposed to find the similarities. You're supposed to find the dissimilarity. So therefore, what is the answer here? Wing stud, isn't it? Anatomic origin of its wing stud. Isn't it? This is the difference that we have here. But if we imagine the thing in our own way, what we'll think? Oh, they were saying that pterosaurs are huge animals. Maybe their wings will be very big, whereas birds' wings will be very small. So we think like this generally, and general analyzation will also help us to take A. But actually, what is given in the passage only that is true there. So other than that, nothing is true here. Okay, this will be our imagination. And presence of hollow bones, it is the opposite idea. They're talking that as a similarity, but here they're asking for dissimilarity. Therefore, you can't pick like this. And presence of hook-like projections in their hind feet. They are talking about skeleton. They are not talking about the features. Okay, therefore two non-similar ideas you people are given with. Location of the shoulder joint joining the wing to this one. This is also not so basically discussed under the skeleton here. Okay, so therefore what is the best answer? You guys picked it. It is anatomic. So origin of its wing stud. Getting it? Any doubt, guys? Yeah. What we did here again, first we understood the question idea. If we misunderstand the question, if we are not very conscious about the words, we may end up taking B as our answer. Why? It is very clearly said. It is having the similarity, but they are asking for the dissimilarity. So therefore, what we are supposed to do, so we need to, this is the thing, or this is the reason why we need to read the questions properly. Remember that. If you feel that you're wasting time on reading the question, then definitely your questions will not go correct. Okay. So now let us try to see the next question. Can we move for the next question, guys? किसी को कोई problem, doubts, anything till 3 questions? Any problem, guys? मुझे तो थोड़ा सा indicate hint तो दो, then I'll go for the next question. Okay. ठीक है. Thank you. Okay. Right. So the ideas attributed to T.H. Huxley in the passage suggest that whatever the idea that is generated by T.H. Huxley, so in the passage suggests that he would most likely agree with which of the following statement. That means T.H. Huxley has given some statement. You need to tell, so what is that particular thing? Or according to T.H. Huxley, what is that idea that he tends to agree? So let us try to go where they were talking about T.H. Huxley in the 4th paragraph, isn't it? So yeah, see, this is the beauty of our summarization. If we know the summarization, basically you will be knowing in which paragraph what they are talking. So therefore, no need to go for the entire passage here. isn't it? Don't you think it will save us from unnecessary reading? So only. Now let us see. But you need to understand what is given here. Whenever you're going through that particular idea, read it in detail and understand every bit of the idea they are trying to say. What was the paragraph telling? So pterosaurs have airy coats while reptiles have scaly coats. Okay. So now for that, T.H. Huxley, he reasoned in the sense what? He explained that flying vertebrates must have been warm-blooded. These flying vertebrates, what? They would have been warm-blooded because flying implies a high rate of metabolism. That means the pterosaurus is also flying vertebrate. This must be warm-blooded. Why? It requires high rate of metabolism. When the metabolism is very high, the body tends to be hotter, which in turn implies a high internal temperature. So if it is having a high this one rate of metabolism, that implies what? It will be having internal temperature also will be more. Then only metabolism also will be more. Huxley speculated, that means he thought that a coat of air would insulate against loss of body heat and might streamline the body to reduce the drag in flight. And why these pterosaurs are covered with airy coat means because pterosaurs are flying mammals. So if they are flying, they will have more metabolism. So if they have more metabolism, that indicates its internal temperature should be very high. If the internal temperature should be high, the temperature from the body should not go out. So what has happened? This airy coats would have acted as a insulators. That means, so if there is more air on the body, what happens? So that will not allow the this one heat to escape from its body. So that is why here also what? Hence the pterosaurs would have so attained the flight. So because of which their body would have been covered with these hairy structures rather than your scales. So that is pterosaurs, and it is trying to say that it is covered here. So that means what? So the requirement makes the necessary changes in the body of an animal. So that is what you people understood. So now you try to pick the answer here. You know the answer here. Now you people only pick. I'm not going to narrate. Look at your options and tell me now. What did T.H. Huxley tell you? T.H. Huxley said that the airy coat would have come because these vertebrates would be flying, whereas reptiles won't fly. That's the reason it was this one. Yeah, we could see the answers coming out. Very good. Very good, guys. Very nice. B is the answer. And animals' appearance is often influenced by what? Environmental requirements and physical capabilities. That's the reason I said. Because it had a feature of flying. So for flying, we need more metabolism. More metabolism is produced when we only when we have internal heat, and this internal heat, if we want, so then the body should be covered with what? Some thick material, because the heat should not escape. So that is why the skin was covered with hair rather than your scales. Okay, so that is the thing we basically have. Got this, guys? Okay. So these are all specific detail. As I had promised, we'll be doing one more inference, this one. See, now it is talking about what? So the characteristic of the pterosaurs. It can be inferred from the passage that which of the following is the characteristic of the pterosaurs. So they are saying that we can infer from the passage. Again, it is overall passage. So what you need to do, you need to, what is that? Look for each of this sentence. What we need to do, we need to look for each of this sentence. They were unable to fold their wings when not in use. They were unable to fold their wings when not in use. This means what it is indicating about the flight and thing. Where they were talking about the flight and all, in the last paragraph, you see that to explain Pterosaurus, let this. Each hypothesis has its difficulty. The first wrongly assumes infant and this serve as hooks by which this one. The second hypothesis seems unlikely because large Pterosaurus could have not landed in trees without damaging their wings. That means what? So the wings could have not been folded. That is the reason. So they could not land on the trees without damaging wings. Why? The wings used to be in a V shape. So here you can see that they had said na, in the first paragraph, first or second paragraph, it remained V shape. When a Pterosaurus walked or remained stationary, this, when with the wing could only turn upward in an extended inverted V shape and along each side of the animal's body. That means it could not fold the wings. Always the wings were in the U shape when it was not in use. That means what? So the wings could not be folded here. So whether that is the given idea here? Yeah, they were unable to fold their wings. It is very much given, isn't it? It is very much given. However, let's see other options also. Yeah, they hung upside down from branches as bats do before flight. Whether this idea is said here, whether they have said they hung upside down from the branches as bats do before flight? No. So yeah, this is not given there. Only they compared that they have similarity in the structure, but it did not say exclusively like they hung upside down. So therefore, that is also incorrect. They flew in order to capture prey. Did they say this? They flew or they tried to flew. So in order to capture the food? No. Therefore, that is also not. They were an early stage in the evolution of the birds. Are they saying that they were the early stage of the birds? No. Right. They live primarily in a forest-like habitat. Have they said anywhere? So where it lived? No. So therefore, what happens here? What is the best answer? A. Yes. Why? Because you could see that. So this idea is very much presented. The birds were, this Pterosaurus could not fold their wings. Okay. Because it could not, I mean, the wings was in usually in V shape. So, and hence it implies that it could not fold the wings there. Okay. So that is the reason. So we basically have this. Now, which of the following best describes the organization of the last paragraph of the passage? Now they are asking, this is the structural question. What it is? It is nothing but structure question. Yesterday we spoke, right? So the tone of the author, we have a question, and this is the structure question. That means what is the technique or what is the agenda that is happening in the passage or paragraph. Here they are asking, so how this last paragraph of the passage organized, or what is the main purpose of this last paragraph of the passage? Okay, so if that is the case, what you need to do, get back to the passage, last paragraph, you try to see what is happening in that last paragraph, try to see, and then so you just tell me. So yeah, what happened? So now get back to your last paragraph. You people only go through and tell me what is happening here. What they said, we have already gone through. They said three hypothesis how this pterosaurus would have launched their flight. But they correspondingly weakened all the three hypotheses. They did not agree with each one. Why? Every hypothesis had its own problem, isn't it? So that means what? Three hypotheses with regards to pterosaurus flight, and all these three were proven to be false there. It did not work out. So this is the idea. Now you people tell me what is the answer that you can pick here. Okay, I could see here. Yeah. So I could see the answers. B here. Very good, guys. Three explanations for one phenomena. What is that phenomena? Pterosaurus flying is a phenomena. They have given three different phenomena. So, and each one of them disputed because of some specific reason. So therefore, what it is? B is the right answer that we have. Very good, guys. Wonderful. So you people are answering it. Now, ultimately, it can be inferred from the passage that some scientists believe that pterosaurus. Now, it can be inferred from the passage. Some scientists believe that pterosaurus what it was. So it lived near large water bodies, because it is again inference, and from the passage only we need to find out. So it lived near large water bodies. Let us try to get back and see whether if we have any kind of this one. What is that? Yeah, if you see the last part of the last paragraph, what is that we have? The third calls for a high waves to channel updrafts. High waves in the sense what? Water waves only. Na? The wind that made such waves, however, might have been too strong for the pterosaurus to control flight once airborne. That means what? This indicates waves in the sense what? They were near the waves. So waves in the sense usually they were living near oceans or seas. Okay, this implies that. So the this one, what is that? Pterosaurus would have been living near what? Your big water bodies or large water bodies like seas and oceans. That is the reasons waves came into consideration. So therefore, we can have this as our answer. But however, let us try to see the other options also. Has sharp teeth for tearing food, whether they were discussing about the tearing of the food or not? I mean, no. Yes. Were attacked and eaten by large reptiles. Did they say this? No. Had longer tails than many birds. Whether they were comparing about this? No. Consumed twice their weight daily. Whether did they even spoke about this? No. So that means what? So what is your best answer? The best answer is they lived near large bodies of water. Yes. A is the right answer that we have here. Okay. So guys, I guess you people got so the things here. Any doubts here? Any doubts? Now you people can, what is that? Start asking me questions. Kindly ask your questions. I'll be answering. Second option of the first thing. Okay. Okay. Arbaz, you want me to talk about the second option? Just give me 1 second. It can be inferred from the passage that scientists now generally structure of the skeleton of the pterosaurus suggest a close evolutionary relationship to bats. What is it trying to say? The structure of the skeleton, particularly the skeleton structure of pterosaurus, it shows that there is an evolutionary relationship to bats. That means what? Whatever the bat structure and pterosaurus structure is there, so the skeleton structure, they are saying that something, either pterosaurus would have developed into bats or bats would have developed from the pterosaurus. Like we say, we have a evolutionary relationship between man and a ape. Okay, just like that only here they are saying that. So the looking at the skeleton structure, so we can say that there is relationship between the pterosaurus and bats in their origin. But where it is trying to tell that, where we had in the structure, see, pterosaurus resembled both birds and bats in their structure and proportions. Looking at the structure and proportions, there was a similarity. But whether did they say that the skeleton structure was similar, especially for bats? And also whether it is said that there was an evolutionary connection? No, right? If that is the case, so then why would we pick that as our inference? That means it is not at all indicating that. If it is not indicating that, we should not pick that. I hope Arbaz got this idea. Yes. So any others, any doubt? Welcome, Arbaz. Go through this paragraph once again, read the questions once again, try to, what is that, analyze whatever I said. So try to, what is that, recapitulate, and you will be getting the this one videos. You people can recapitulate, listen, and you can see what methods we are doing, how we are cracking, how we are omitting the answers, so how we are trying to get the ideas. All these things, kindly, what is that, go through and practice this method. When you practice this method, you people can get complete scores on reading comprehension. Guys, I would like to say here one thing. We know that 50% of our verbal is based on RCs. Okay, when we have that particular thing, see, on RCs you people can get full marks. Why? All the answers are there only. It is only your recognition. So you can make your recognition easy only by the practice. If you think that, oh, I have attended the classes, so now I'll be ready to give the exam, please don't commit that mistake. You need to practice. Whatever you have heard in the class, try to practice that. When you practice that, so you will get hands-on expertise. You will get to know the language of the test also. You will come across many different words. So the speed will increase, everything will increase. Therefore, what I would suggest here is that you need to practice a lot. Okay, so lot. So you should not get confused. Oh, ma'am is saying to practice, so let us practice reading some storybooks and all. No, I want you people to read only such materials. Why? Our main purpose is to not improve our reading thing. Okay, our main purpose is we need to get good scores by performing better on our GRE readings. Okay, therefore you need to speak, you need to practice your GRE. This one only. How many answers and questions are out of 27? See, 50% of the questions you will be getting. See, you need to go in the order. Don't do this, what is that, choosing things. Okay, so always go in order, because so what happens, if you think that I'll do something in the last, you will never do it. You would have observed this in your exams also, isn't it? So therefore, you people should be, see, because you know that now you people are preparing, so you know that you will have all these type of questions. If we have text completion or sentence equivalence first, you perform that. If you have RCs in the first, you perform that. Okay, So don't try to, but always keep a mind watch on your timings. Okay. So you need to dedicate 1 minute for one question. That's it. Don't go more than that. So first you solve off all the questions. Then if you are left with the time, so then you come back to the question where you are doubtful, and then you people solve it. But don't dedicate 3 minutes, 4 minutes for each thing. Getting it, guys? Any other queries you have? Okay. So I hope you people don't have any queries.